Welcome back, students. In the previous video, I discussed sedimentary rocks with you, and I ended with the classification of sedimentary rocks on the basis of formation. In this video, I will discuss the classification of sedimentary rocks on the basis of agents of formation. Then I will explain metamorphic rocks, their formation, characteristics, and the different types of metamorphism. I will end with the economic significance of rocks. Now we start with the classification of sedimentary rocks on the basis of agents of formation. And the first is riverine rocks. These rocks are formed by the alluvial deposits brought by flowing water of streams and rivers. Rivers bring alluvium with them, which they spread when they overflow. The lithification of these alluvial deposits forms riverine rocks. Castrone rocks. These are rock formations which formed at the bottom of ancient lakes. As you can see in this picture, these are lacustrine rocks. You can see the different layers which are found in sedimentary rocks very clearly. At one time, this whole formation was at the bottom of a lake. When the lake no longer received water, it dried up, leaving this formation behind. Glacial rocks. Glacial rocks are formed by the glacial deposits in the form of debris or tills. A glacial till is an accumulation of unsorted glacial sediment, which can include boulders, gravel, sand, silt, and clay. The glaciers erode the surface and the sides of a valley and transport the eroded material further. When the glacier melts due to heat, the debris brought by it is left behind in the form of moraines, which form glacial rocks. The glacial rocks include boulders, gravel, sand, etc. In this picture you can see this is a glacier and these are the moraines which have been left behind by the glacier. Over a long period of time, these moraines will get lithified into glacial rocks. Aeolian rocks. Aeolian rocks are formed with sand particles brought by winds. The deposition of sand particles one over the other makes them hard and form sedimentary rocks. Such rocks are found in deserts. Loess is an important aeolian deposit. This is the picture of loess. It is formed by the deposition and lithification of wind-blown sand and silt. Marine rocks. These are found at the ocean floor. These rocks are of two types. First are calcareous sedimentary rocks. These rocks are formed by the deposition of shells and skeletons of sea organisms like corals, clams, and oysters, etc. They live on the ocean floor and extract calcium carbonate from ocean water. When these animals die, their shells and skeletal debris accumulate as sediment that might be lithified into calcareous rocks. Chalk and limestone are the examples of such rocks. The biological origin of these rocks is often revealed in the presence of fossils, as you can see in this picture. Here you can see a fossil of a marine creature can be seen very clearly in this picture of chalk. The second type of marine rocks are carbonaceous sedimentary rocks. These rocks are formed by the sea plants which remain buried for a very long period. These long preserved remains are known as fossils. They are converted into coal due to pressure of overlying rocks on them. I have already discussed the formation of these rocks in the previous video. We start with the last type of rocks, metamorphic rocks. The word metamorphic comes from metamorphose, which means change in form. The term metamorphosis is most often used in reference to the process of a caterpillar changing into a beautiful butterfly. However, the word metamorphosis is a broad term that indicates a change from one thing to another. Even rocks, a seemingly constant substance, can change into a new type of rock. Rocks that undergo a change to form a new rock are referred to as metamorphic rocks. A metamorphic rock begins as either a sedimentary, igneous, or even a different sort of metamorphic rock. Then, due to high heat or intense pressure deep within the earth, the existing rock changes into a new kind of metamorphic rock. So, the conditions required to form a metamorphic rock are very specific. The existing rock must be exposed to high heat and high pressure. These conditions are most often found either deep in the Earth's crust or at plate boundaries where tectonic plates collide. Here is an example. This is limestone, which is a sedimentary rock. Under the influence of high heat and pressure, it changes into a metamorphic rock, marble. As you can see, not only the physical properties, but even the mineral composition of the rock undergoes a complete change. So, metamorphic rocks are formed when rocks are subjected to very high temperature or extremely high pressure, and they change in such a way that they lose their characteristics like color, texture, hardness, and even their mineral composition. The original minerals in a rock are altered and new minerals are formed. Characteristics of metamorphic rocks. After metamorphism, the rocks become harder than their original form. For example, marble made from limestone is harder than limestone. Most metamorphic rocks are impermeable. They do not allow water to percolate through them. Metamorphic rocks do not have fossils, as fossils in sedimentary rocks are destroyed during the formation of metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks are formed due to change in texture and composition of pre-existing rocks. New minerals are formed during the process of metamorphism. Now we start with types of metamorphism. The first one being thermal metamorphism. Thermal metamorphism occurs when the transformation of the original rock takes place due to the influence of high temperature. This high temperature may be from the heat generated by the hot magma or from friction of moving rock layers. For example, slate is formed from clay when it is subjected to high temperature. Dynamic metamorphism. Dynamic metamorphism occurs when the transformation takes place mainly because of pressure at great depth within the Earth's crust. Chemically active hot gases, while passing through the rocks, change their chemical composition. Minerals get arranged in a series of bands known as foliation. Here you can see the separate bands. This is known as foliation. Foliation is caused by the realignment of minerals when they are subjected to high pressure. Individual minerals align themselves perpendicular to the stress field. Regional metamorphism. Due to mountain building process, igneous and sedimentary rocks get buried deep inside the crust. Mountain building occurs when two plates converge and collide with each other, resulting in the formation of fold mountains. The rocks are altered over a large area on a large scale, and this process is known as regional metamorphism. It is a result of excessive pressure of overlying rocks and intense heat caused by large-scale earth movements. Contact metamorphism. Sometimes only small areas get affected by metamorphism. This happens when magma reaches the cracks or between the layers of rocks, and only narrow bands of adjoining rocks get affected by the hot magma transforming into metamorphic rocks. As you can see in this diagram, only this narrow band of rock which is in contact with the hot magma gets transformed into metamorphic rock. This type of metamorphism is known as contact or local metamorphism. Now we come to the last topic, the economic significance of rocks. Soils are derived after weathering of rocks. Rocks contain minerals which directly or indirectly help in manufacturing industries. For example, metallic minerals like gold, copper, iron, etc. Coal and petroleum both are essential for the industrial development of a country. The entire automobile industry uses petrol for the transport system. Rocks also supply a wide variety of minerals which become the main raw material in manufacturing industries. For example, limestone, gypsum are needed for cement industry, iron ore, coal, manganese for steel industry, and bauxite for aluminium. Rocks are also very widely used as building materials. For example, marble, granite, and sandstone are used for construction of roads, multipurpose dams, big buildings, etc. Rocks also supply precious metals like gold, silver, diamond, platinum, which are used for making jewelry. I conclude the lesson here. In this video, I discussed the classification of sedimentary rocks on the basis of agents of formation. Then I explained metamorphic rocks, their formation, characteristics, and the different types of metamorphism. And I ended with the economic significance of rocks. Thank you and have a nice day.